What is up, fam? Welcome to George Reviews. I am the 80s Transformers fan. Today on George Reviews, we'll be taking a look at Super 7's Ultimates LED Light MUMM-RA in his ever-living form. Yes, the big guy himself. From everything I've seen so far, this is a very cool figure. It hasn't had many QC issues reported on it. I'm hoping I got a good copy. I kind of got out of the Thundercats line because of QC issues and just a lack of articulation on most figures. Mostly it was Tigra. After that, I continued to collect figures from that line. I got about 12 figures that I have never opened, and I need to get them in my display. Hopefully this will pump the Thundercats lifeblood back into me and I can review those figures and continue on. But anyway, in front of us is MUMM-RA, the ever-living. This is the packaging. We got some abstract artwork of MUMM-RA. The light up eyes, obviously, the slob in the mouth, yuck. Slightly different than the slipcover on most figures. Gone is the brown mail-away now. And I got figures all the way back to the brown mail-away. Spinning it around, we have the standard Thundercats logo on the back of the box. We got a little bit of contents down here. It says one figure and accessories. Includes one 0.5 volt battery times 3 Super 7 side of the box, a little bit of the MUMM-RA mummy wrappings on both sides. But anyway, we're going to slide up the slip cover to reveal MUMM-RA within, and this is the paint deco that I wanted from the beginning. I like the original figure, but this is the color he should have been. This is more cartoony and leans closer to the vintage toy color, and this looks fantastic. They chosen to go with a slightly different deco on the box. It looks like the mouthpiece around MUMM-RA's sarcophagus from the cartoon. And with Super 7's packaging, you can see the figure fully within. You can see all of his accessories on display. It makes a great display piece. And the way they design their packaging, you can take the figures out and put them back in. I absolutely love that. And most of these packages I toss out, but I am going to keep this one. But anyway, enough of that. I'm spinning around. Back of the box, we have the artwork. I believe this is the artwork from the original package, or from the original release of MUMM-RA, the Ever Living. He has the sword from the toy in his hand, the vintage toy style. A little bit of a bio down here, and nothing really at the top, and nothing really at the bottom, barcode or whatever. So let's get MUMM-RA open and take a look. And nothing further in the box. MUMM-RA is packaged with two shells, not necessarily clammed up. The back shell, oh, this is a double clam. And this clam right here, we get the cape. It looks like on this side is blue. I love the fact that they've done something different here. That is pretty cool. And here in the main clam, we get the Sword of Plundar in 2 pieces this time. We get 3 extra sets of extra hands. We get the Chain of Loyalty, which is really cool. And I believe this is the Sphere of Seti. It's a little big comparative-wise from the episode, but I think that's what this is. Hopefully I'll remember as we kick it in. And MUMM-RA has a few tie-downs on him, at least one giant one. Let's get that off. Come on, big guy. I always thought this was a great figure, but I didn't buy all the releases. This guy has been released like 5 times. He has the original release, then he has the more toy accurate release. He has the Astro form, which is pretty cool. I kind of actually wanted that one, but I didn't get it because they cut down on accessories like this one. They cut down on accessories these come with. They kind of changed a couple, but the original release back there comes with more. Then we got the Big Bad Toy Store exclusive where he came in black. I don't know what that was about. He was like all black, like anti-universe version or whatever. And then we have this version with the light up features. All right, let's get the accessories out now. Again, this is the Sphere of Seti. Then right here we have the chain of loyalty for the Thundercats. MUMM-RA was trying to steal it. I think they broke it, and then the Thundercats were no longer loyal to Lion-O, which is kind of weird because your loyalty shouldn't be connected to an artifact, and it's not real loyalty if it is. And it actually has the Thundercats. Oh, please let the camera pick this up. On the cartoon, this was pictures of the different Thundercats, and it actually has them molded in there. I see they couldn't like paint the details this small, I don't know. Hope I can kind of capture that, but the Thundercats are actually molded on here, and it's nicely molded. It's not a real chain back here, but it is nice. The Thundercat logo right there, nice. This is sweet. I love the fact that we keep getting cartoon artifacts from these guys. And again, we have the sword of Plundar in 2 pieces, unlike the previous sword. I guess this makes it easier for you to get it in and out of MUMM-RA's hand, and it is slotted a certain way so you can put it together. It only goes one way, and I was fortunate enough to get it right the first time, and man, this looks so much cooler. This is more cartoon accurate. I didn't mind that. A lot of people complained about it when we first got it, but I thought it was cool either way. But this is really nice. And what we have left are the different interchangeable hands. Just gonna pop them on and show them on the figure. Alright, let's check out MUMM-RA. We always start with the head. It looks great. I believe this is a totally new head than the original release. The teeth look sharper and smaller. We can see the tongue now. That could be just a paint app, but I think this is completely different. And the snakes on the helmet itself, I don't think that's actually accurate to the cartoon with the red-headed snakes and the blue body. This is something new. Doesn't look bad, but I don't think that's 100% accurate. He has some white around the eyes that differs from the other figure. I'll bring it down and take a look side by side in a little bit. His body is like this blue-green with a little bit of a wash on it. You can see the detailing on the shoulders and the abdomen area. Just in a lot of places on the thighs. It looks very good. Even when you spin it around, they painted the back of the figure, unlike McFarlane Toys. It really looks good. I don't have to paint splotches or anything. From what I see right now, this figure looks fantastic. You know, that's my word, fantastic. Anyway, all right, now for MUMM-RA's articulation. I think the entire body is the same except for the head, maybe the chest. So I'm just going to check out the chest and midsection area, and the head, of course, the head. MUMM-RA can look to his right, to the left. He has some side to side, so there's some type of ball in there. I know it's different because the head slots out, and a little bit of up and down. So we still have articulation about as good as the articulation of the original figure, despite the new light up feature that he has now. And speaking of which, he has one in his chest as well. Let's see if he can rear back this much, which is not a lot, which is about as much as the original figure as well, and forward this much, which is a great deal. And it appears to be larger in the chest. Let me check it out real quick. The top part of his chest, yeah, it's like larger to accommodate the light up feature. So that is new, but he still retains all the original articulation. Alright, quickly I'm going to cycle through MUMM-RA's interchangeable hands. The first set are these open palms. I believe these are new. I've never seen these before unless they've come on some of the other MUMM-RA's that I do not have. But these are very nice. You can use these like energy projection or energy deflection. Next up, we get the sort of open, gripping, grasping hands, sort of like monster and mummy hands. Lastly, we get the straight up gripping hands with a tighter grip, and this little piece just keeps coming off. It was a defect on my original release. I see it follows all the MUMM-RA releases down to this newer release as well. And we're going to take the sword of Plundar and get it in his hands because it separates into 2 pieces. Let's see if it's easier to get into MUMM-RA's hand. And there it is. Much easier to put it into MUMM-RA's hand. Lastly, we have the cape. Again, well-packed action figure from Super 7. Absolutely love what they do with the packaging. Here's our cape. Again, it looks like the bat signal from the 60s. Let's get this onto our MUMM-RA. Now, for what I understand, it won't clip on at the neck because it just slots out because of the light up feature. I probably should just get right to this, but I'm saving it for last. All right, since this one wants to keep coming off, I'm going to start right here Hope this isn't really tedious. Okay, that went right through there. Probably should have put the sword down, but we're gonna make it work. And that's one side in. And the second side. There we go. Yeah, it's not gonna, because of the neck, it's not gonna fit in. It's just gotta hang out. Over the shoulder. Need to remove this tab right here. And let's get it cut on. And here we go. And you can see it under these bright lights already. Let's get it into the body. It looks like a J slot right there that's supposed to go in here. Think I got it. I may have it. All right, here we go. I'm going to kill the lights. And here it is. I have the overhead light still on. I got some light coming through the window, so it's not completely dark, but this thing looks good. MUMM-RA! And I really wanted this guy over Lionel. I wound up getting Lionel as well, but I was going to get this guy no matter what because he has the double feature. The snakes right there looking like crumb. Two snakes coming together. Looks good. The eyes look good. And I can't figure out for the life of me why they didn't do this in the first place. You know what I mean? I guess maybe they had to like sell so many and pay for like the tooling to change it and all that and add the lights over the re-releases or whatever. But this is what it should have been. This is awesome. The only failing is you got to take out the head to turn it off. But it's not that big of a deal. Like, you know, of course, we all would have wanted just like a little button. But man, this looks nice. And he still retains his articulation. Head's looking left and right. No wires pulling on it. And the chest isn't moving when the head moves. Love that. You gotta love that. Yeah, I think I got lucky taking off the first time, or it wasn't set. Like it was some default factory mode. Now the head does not just slide off. I think I gotta find that little J. There we go. And slide it off. Yeah. Now, I want to talk a little bit more about the Sword of Plundar, which looks awesome. And not just, it doesn't just have like this flame color to it from the cartoon, but I accidentally discovered that this thing glows in the dark. I've seen a couple reviews on this while I was trying to decide whether or not I was going to get mine, and neither one of those guys demonstrated that this thing glows in the dark. And I discovered it by accident by cutting out the studio lights, taking breaks in between shooting this review, and I could see it glowing just a little bit. So I went and got my black light, charged it up even more, and you can see that this bad boy glows in the dark. And I almost missed it, and it was a happy accident that I was able to catch it and include it in the video. Next up is the Chain of Loyalty. We took a look at it, unboxing it. It's very nice. MUMM-RA really didn't actually have to use it. He was trying to steal it, and I think Lionel blasted it and it broke, and it caused the dissension amongst the Thundercats, and they started fighting amongst themselves trying to take out Lionel. But you know, you can put it on his hand, you can drape it on his hand, or you can put it around his neck. Lastly is the Sphere of Seti. Now this gave MUMM-RA 4 times the power that he got from the Ancient Spirits of Evil. And I guess it was once his, so that was his original power. He still lost to the Thundercats anyway. But the Ancient Spirits of Evil did not want MUMM-RA to have it and be free of their control. He desperately wanted it, but again, he took an L anyway. And I think it's exclusive to this version of MUMM-RA. I think he doesn't come with any of the other ones. Again, I only have the 2. But this is a very awesome inclusion. All right, let's take a look at our MUMM-RA side by side. The original release and the brand new LED release respectively. Notwithstanding the actual color difference, I just want to go over the physical differences. This MUMM-RA is taller. I believe they made the chest bigger to house the lights in his chest. Let's bring them back to back, and you can see that the newer guy is actually taller, so that's a difference. And then I discovered that my bandages are screwed up on the newer release, like behind his back. And get this cape off. Like this is supposed to loop around in front of his waist, like this one over here. And it's not just a thing of I can loop it around the arm, but it'll still be twisted because it's assembled wrong. Like one of these straps are like upside down or something. I can't, or where it's fused together right here. I don't know, but it won't like lay properly when I swing it around. So this is as good as I can get. It's still like twisted. I've tried to untwist. I tried it several different ways. At first I thought it was just a change they made to the toy where the bandages were, and I think this is just QC, which kind of sucks. It's always something with a Super 7 figure, boy. So the next physical difference, I don't know if this is the save money, but it seemed like they had to change the process as well. This cape has more wire in it. It runs completely around the outsides of the cape. Then he has 3 wires here, here, and here. And on the new version, they just left out the outer wires. It still has the 3 in the middle sections here, here, and here for a little bit of displayability articulation. You can still get it to blow. That still works. But where it doesn't work, and it kind of, I mean, you can mess with it. You can keep it up actually like this. But because it no longer pegs into the neck peg, because they made the change for the LED lights, they didn't add anything to kind of keep this middle part in place. So all right, it's time to give MUMM-RA the official size up and the rundown. The obvious choice to kick us off is the original MUMM-RA from Super 7, Lion-O and Panthro, Cheetara and Mandora. I don't think we've ever seen MUMM-RA and Mandora in the same episode, and I think I know why. So you're Mandora, the dick chaser. That's Mandora, the evil chaser. This dick is evil. And here's Sly, my only lonely open mutant. Alright, the last comparison is Mummy Form MUMM-RA. And just to point out what everyone knows, now the skin tones don't match. So if this is your main MUMM-RA in the collection, because this is going to be my main one, now the skin tones don't match for the transformation. So are we set up now to receive another Mummy Form MUMM-RA? It'll be like the 3rd one. And if they do, will it be in that deluxe line, or will they just reissue the same one with a different paint? Or do you think we can get MUMM with this guy for the people who don't want to go back and buy the first Mummy Form MUMM-RA to get Marmot to go with this guy or with this guy? What do you think? All right, fam, final thoughts time on this figure. I really love this figure. It could have been perfect, but it is not, so I'll start right there. The fact that this one peg keeps coming off of the wrist and it goes all the way back to the original figure. With all these releases, I guess they have never fixed it where the cape pegs in unless you get the one that didn't come with a cape. But that kind of sucks, especially at $85-90. So we right at $100, and I need it to be perfect. And speaking of not being perfect, right here, the back of the cape where it doesn't peg into the neck. But as soon as you put the arms down, the cape droops down. And then with this peg, and now it's falling off. Not a huge problem, but still a problem at $100. And while the cape is down, we can look at that strap. And I think mine is just assembled, twisted at some point where they didn't get it right. And I went halfway through the review without noticing, actually, because it was just hanging behind them. I thought it was like another one of these, another piece of this, but you can see it is actually twisted. If you start at one point with it the correct way, it will not wind up in the right position. So that is a problem. I wonder how many people have this problem and it's gone unnoticed. I'm going to have to watch some of the other reviews again and check it out. So these are my 2 big problems, or 3 counting the peg in for the wrist with this figure. But other than that, I absolutely love it. And don't get me wrong, I know there's some people out there that's going to be a fan of whatever Super 7 do and say, well, you could actually fix a couple of those issues pretty easily. Which I can. I'll probably get unglue the strap, turn it around, and then glue it back in. But you shouldn't have to at this price. It shouldn't even be in the discussion. But other than those things, I absolutely love it. Again, I think this is my favorite Thundercat figure, even though he's not Thundercat, from Super 7 in the Thundercats line. I think the color change, the light up feature is absolutely phenomenal. Do I think, without all the issues, I still would say he's overpriced. And I'm going to stick with that. He's kind of overpriced, and if you already have a MUMM-RA, I don't know if I can recommend just chucking one of the ones you got for this one. If you're just going to add and collect them all, yeah, definitely. This is the best one. But that's all I got. Thank you guys for watching that episode of George Reviews, the reviews where every toy has a story.